So we've got Prosper from Your Passion coming up, and we had about a couple of hundred questions that people have asked us. Now we can't answer all of them, but I wanted to take the top ones and answer them in this video for you. My name's Cham Tang, I'm the co-founder of Authentic Education. I'm also a head of marketing, and I have been since the very first day we started Authentic Education. And I know a lot of your questions are marketing related. So let's jump straight into it. Here are the 7 questions we've been asked in this video. Number 1 is from Gwen. What clever marketing strategies can you do yourself that does not cost a bomb? When we first started Authentic Education, we started only with $5,000 each, and it was on a very small budget. So I understand this question, that we were looking for the most cost-effective ones, the cheapest ones, essentially, that we could possibly do. So we would do things like flyer drops, letterbox drops, going to the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival. That had a little bit of a cost associated to it. But I just want to let you know, it's not about the cheapest strategy. It's about the one that has the biggest return on investment. I'll give you an example. If I was to give you $100 for every $10 that you gave me, so you give me $10 and I give you a $100 note straight back, is there a budget anymore? Does it matter how many $10 notes you've got and what your budget is? No, it doesn't. Because now you've got an unlimited pool of resources, an unlimited amount of $10 notes that you're willing to give me, because the return on investment is there. So I want to get your mind off how much it costs and more so on what the return on investment will be. So when marketing is done correctly, keywords there, correctly, when marketing is done correctly, your budget is unlimited. And you just have to know and figure out the correct steps for that, which Ben is going to also cover at Prosper from Your Passion, the formula, as cliched as it sounds, that we've used over the last 7 years. Number 2, are you a gifted speaker? Obviously not talking about me, but Ben. Is Ben a gifted speaker? How did he take this skill and help others? That's questions from Marcus. Ben is definitely not a gifted speaker. If you could have seen Ben the way I saw Ben about, let's say 9 years ago when I first met him, he would go visibly red when he was speaking. He would stumble over his words, his jokes wouldn't land. I mean, sometimes his jokes still don't land, but he's definitely not the Ben you see today. So don't compare yourself to where people have finished up, compare yourself to where people have started from. And Ben is definitely not quote unquote gifted. It took hours and hours, in Ben's case, thousands of hours of practice to get to where he is today as well. How did you take this skill and help others? I remember when we first started as well, sometimes I would ask Ben, hey Ben, in terms of the marketing and speaking, how many people do we need to have in the event before we actually run the event? And Ben would say this line that he got from Dr. Wayne Dyer. He said, you know, if there were 2 rats in a sewer, he'd go and speak to them. So his answer was 1 person. As long as 1 person comes to that event, then we're speaking, then Ben's speaking at it. And that's how we took that skill and helped others. Just practice, practice, practice. Doesn't matter if you're speaking to 1 person or even in the mirror, you know, in your lounge room or something. It's all about the practice and helping 1 person at a time. This is a picture of one of our very first events. It was not even an event that we ran. It was at someone else's meetup event. And I think there's like 14 people in there or something like that. We didn't get paid for anything like that. And it was at a restaurant called City Extra. So just take that skill and start using it. Number 3, are my dreams or ideas worthy and possible? Now, without speaking to you, Sonia, it obviously depends what they are, but the answer to that question is twofold. Your dreams or ideas are worthy if they're adding value to other people, and they are possible if they're adding value to other people. By possible, I mean that you can make a living and a handsome income from doing it if you're solving other people's problems, and that is definitely worthy to do. Ben is going to cover that a bit more at the program Prosper from Your Passion as well. Number 4, how do you know which is your true passion if you have several things you really enjoy doing? By Joan. How do you know which is your true passion if you have several things? Now, people usually fall into 1 or 2 categories. Too many passions, or they don't even have 1. Both of those things can be answered by this diagram that you may have seen on the Prosper from Your Passion page. It's the intersection between what you love to do. So you might love kite surfing as an example, but it may not pay well. So it has to pay well in that it has to be adding value to other people's lives so much that it's a fair exchange, that they'll exchange their value which is money, in exchange for your value, which is education in most of the cases. And you have to be good at it as well. When I say have to be good at it, that is the one that I'm more likely to relax on, in that if you're not good at it, you can outlearn anyone. You can become good at it extremely quickly. You could read 3 books on a topic and become more of an expert in the eyes of other people than someone who is only just going about their daily life. So we're going to cover that in more detail at Prosper From Your Passion, because in the middle is where they all intersect and all the magic happens. Number 5, can an introvert be successful? Colleen, yes they can, and in speaking as well. I've met so many speakers, and it's a funny thing that you'd think they're extroverted, but when they get off stage, and I've met them at like the after party of the event or just speaking to them one-on-one, they're very introverted. They're like awkward. I would even go as far to say as Ben is an introvert, believe it or not. But everyone has a different style, and your style is going to resonate with other people that are more introverted. Not everyone has to be like this massive, charismatic, Tony Robbins style figure on a platform. Just be yourself, be authentic. Number 6, how do you take that leap of faith and give up a soul-sucking, dead-end, but permanent job to jump to your ideal career that feeds your soul? Mags, thanks for being very honest there. There are actually 5 ways to take that leap of faith. Now, if you Google 5 ways to quit your job, I actually created a webinar all about it. It's a free webinar. It's already recorded. I only did it one time. So you can Google Authentic Education 5 ways to quit your job webinar, and it comes up. Just very briefly, the 5 ways are: you can dream about it, but actually not do anything about it, but still go to work. Number 2, safety first. Save enough money until you think you've got a safety net. Part-time lover, go part-time in a job which is helping you towards your end goal. Stepping stone, go full-time in a job which is halfway between what you're currently doing and what you want to be doing. And all or nothing, which is what Ben did. Just pull the ripcord and say, I'm not doing this any longer, and I'm going to find a way. So there are the 5 ways, but have a look at that webinar for the full in-depth details of how that works. Number 7, Robin, how can I prosper from your passion, from my passion? Good question. I put this one last as an example. Obviously, we've got the event coming up called Prosper From Your Passion, but you just start taking the steps necessary by finding out, if you go back to that diagram, what it is that you love, what you're good at, and what pays well. There are many other things. There's mindset things you got to overcome. There's business hurdles, like how do I attract clients? How do I package myself? How do I communicate effectively with people as well? The 9 core delivery methods that we offer. There's all these other different things that we'd love to teach you at the upcoming Prosper From Your Passion, which, if you haven't got your ticket yet, is authenticeducation.com.au/prosper. We hope to see you there as well. I'm going to be there. The whole team is going to be there also to answer any of your questions. So if you've got anything related to marketing, management, systems, productivity, anything to do with business and prospering from your passion, we'd be glad to help you at the actual event. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a lot today, and I'll see you perhaps on the next video.